Hey, what's up everybody? Today I'm flying out the F4J Phantom II. This sits at a battle rating of 11.3 in the United States Naval Tree, and I believe it's the only 11.3 aircraft for the United States. And the reason for it being 11.3 is its pulse doppler radar and the AIM-7F missile. And what that combination gives you is A, look-down capability with the radar, and B, extremely long-range Fox 1 engagements. Now, when this plane was first added to the game, I had several instances where I was getting 20, 25, even a couple 30-kilometer kills with the AIM-7F. It's a bit harder to do that now because everyone kind of expects it when they're playing against F4Js, but a lot of times at the beginning of the rounds, people aren't paying as much attention as they should be, and it can still happen. So, you kind of have a choice with this or the F4E Phantom, which the F4E Phantom has the Agile Eagle upgrade, which makes it a lot more maneuverable, and you get the M61 Vulcan cannon. But you don't get Pulse Doppler radar, and you don't get AIM-7Fs. I honestly can't really decide which one I like better. I want to lean toward the F4J just because it fits the meta a lot better, and I find the F4E is kind of in a weird in-between spot. But to each their own. Oh yeah, and one more downside of this plane. It does not have a gun on it. You can carry a gun pod, but the gun pod you get with this thing isn't very good. Sometimes it kind of feels like you're shooting BB guns at your enemy. And lately I've opted out of taking the gun pod altogether, only to carry missiles. Now I read somewhere that the gun pod itself causes more drag than all of the missiles combined on the jet. I don't know if that's true or not, but it definitely feels a lot faster and a lot more maneuverable without the gun pod on it. So this game I opted not to take it at all. Alright, now first engagement of the match. F4EJ, who seems a bit hyper-focused on my teammate that he's shooting his missiles at. Doesn't really seem like he reacts to my missile after I shot it. I kind of thought he would try and dodge, but I guess not. I get a critical hit on him, and that's going to result in my first kill. So after killing that EJ, I figure it's probably about time to head down to the deck and help my team out. At this point, I was completely fumbling my radar controls because I was messing around with my key bindings. I haven't really found comfortable keybinds that I really like using for radar controls, and that's only because I don't really fly out radar-dependent aircraft that often. Anyway, fire off an AIM-9G at this second F4EJ. Get a critical hit on him too, which is also going to result in a kill. And I also fired a AIM-7 at that MiG that was coming head-on, but that was a bit of an ambitious launch, so no surprise there that missed. And now I'm just going to pull away from the mess that is the furball of 11.3 matchmaking. Now, by not turning back and going straight back into the furball like most people would is exactly how I like to play the F4J. I like to use it as a missile dispenser and nothing more. And now that I have a little bit of distance between me and all of the enemies who are all going in the opposite direction, I take this 180-degree turn to point my missiles in the direction of all of the enemy airplanes. And now a MiG-23MF shows its butt directly in front of me, quickly switch to my AIM-9Gs and fire, and then I turn towards this Su-22 so he doesn't end up on my tail. And that AIM-9G takes out the MiG-23MF, resulting in my third kill of the game. So as I start pulling away, I turn around to notice a J7E who is following behind me, but he is much slower than I am, so I'm going to pull away no problem, and he realizes this and pulls off to go back towards my other teammates. Like I said a minute ago, I'm using this just as a missile dispenser, so I'm going to just make passes through the furball and hope my missiles can do some damage. So I begin my turn to make another pass on the remaining enemies. I then realized there was not only one Su-22 following me, but two of them right next to each other. So of course my first reaction and instinct is to rip my flaps off for weight reduction purposes. And then obviously my next best move is to tab out and check my email. Okay, all jokes aside though, I had my fingers on the wrong keys and then panicked. Luckily though, it ended up okay. So I'm going to try my best to put some more distance on these guys once again and go help out my remaining teammates. Su-22 still behind me, the other guy I guess pulled off, and I assume the one right behind me is out of missiles because he hasn't shot any at me. So I see my friendly F5, who appears to be in need of some assistance, fire off an AIM-7 at the J7E, which will result in kill number 4. So once again I will pull away from the fight for a minute and assess the situation that I am in. The Su-22 is still behind me and following me a good way back there, but I'm not really worried about him, and I felt safe enough to turn around and head back towards the fight. And as it turns out, he actually had a missile. I'm not quite sure what missile it was, but at that angle, I don't think any IR missile is going to hit that, unless it was an R-24T. And after that 180-degree turn, I see this MiG-23 providing itself as a very easy target for my AIM-7s. And just like that, kill number 5. And as soon as I killed that MiG-23, I look up and notice the Su-22 from earlier in the match. Took a pretty ambitious AIM-9G shot, but it actually worked out. I didn't honestly expect it to hit. I follow after him to see if I can secure the kill, but not before checking to see if there was anyone else alive. Because after all, I was about to fire my final missile at this Su-22 when I don't have a gun pod. So I sent it off. It's going to hit beautifully, and that is going to be my 6th and final kill of the game. And that wins us the match. A very good match at that. That is a perfect example of what the F4J is best at, just being a missile dispenser. It's not really my preferred playstyle, but it is still fun every once in a while for me. And I'm going to leave you guys with that. I hope you guys enjoy. Please like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you all very soon.